I'd love to share a piece with you from Repertoire Book 2 called Royal Wedding. This is a wonderful teaching piece that will teach your students to make great big sounds on the piano using legato pedal technique. Some beautiful choreography is possible in this piece, and there are just lots of different elements I think that your students will learn from when they practice this particular one. One of the first things I would want your students to do when practicing this piece is to learn to have this beautiful hand position with these open fifths in the left hand opening. I'd want them to practice things like this. Nice big full arm sound behind the fingers to create this big booming sound of the church bells. I would also want them to really think about their pedaling, and in this particular work, they will be using, of course, legato pedal technique. When we teach legato pedaling in book 2 of the lesson book at this level, we want them to learn to count out loud as they learn to pedal with a legato pedal technique. And as they are playing, I want them to count up, down, 2, 3, 4, up, down, 2, 3, 4. Now just look at my foot if you can while I count, and you'll see exactly how the pedaling works here. So it's up, down, 2, 3, 4, up, down, 2, 3, 4. And if I play the left hand and pedal, it'll look and sound like this. If they synchronize that rhythm with the foot, they'll have perfect, beautiful legato pedal technique. This is a piece which also involves a lot of wrist rotation in the right hand. So from a technical standpoint, it's a very, very important concept to learn. In the opening measures of the second line, starting in measure 5 of this piece, we have this pattern. So if you can watch my wrist here, I'm rotating from left to right. And I'm also accenting the moving notes in that lower eighth note pattern. So we don't want to have a sound that sounds like this. We want. Okay. Now when they get to measure 7, your students are going to want to create some beautiful choreography, some graceful motions across the keyboard. So when they have those long whole notes and they move up in measure 8 to the interval of a sixth, I want it to look like this. And then they have the same pattern in an octave higher. There are lots of opportunities in this piece to create these beautiful, graceful arcs in the music. Here in measure 14, at the end of measure 14, we have this pattern. So when I move down from the right hand, from here down to there, I want to create a beautiful motion over the keyboard without it looking like I'm rushing into that next measure. At the end of this piece, we have a big sound way down here, the lowest C on the keyboard. And because it's marked fortissimo, you might want to have your students brace that third finger with the thumb and use the whole arm to get that nice, great, big sound. But let's listen to the Royal Wedding. Be sure your students hold that last chord 4 whole beats or even a little bit longer. And then when they release off that key, release in a nice graceful motion so that it lends a beautiful artistic look to that performance.